Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just great sacrifice and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire, behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we rebuild, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regrets. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome everybody to a Sunday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. I've been better, but I'm doing good. Obviously, I got a little bit of a sunburn going on here. Got a little bit of raccoonness going, but no, good. Celebrated my 22nd wedding anniversary this week, and got a speeding ticket. So please tell me how the fine for speeding is $5, but the court fees is $133. I don't understand.
Oh, dang.
So
and how fast were you going?
So by the ticket, or how fast was I going?
Well, okay, let's do both. What did he write you up for?
5 over.
Okay. And how fast were you going?
21 over.
Oh, cow. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. So $5 is my fine for speeding and $133 for court cost. And I'm like, court cost? I can pay this online. So please tell me how it costs $133 for me to pay my ticket online.
That's how they get you, bro.
Whatever.
That's how
it's
they get
stupid.
you.
It's a money
So
grab.
why don't you do like the traffic school or that diversion program that they have?
So traffic school is in the state of Kentucky, you have to write the clerk of courts and request traffic school. Then they can say, yes, this would be good for you, or no. Right. So if they say yes, you can go to traffic school. Then you have to schedule your traffic school through the clerk's office, but you still have to pay the $133 of court fees, right? And then they're like, oh, by the way, you'll be billed later for the course.
Yeah.
Mark, shut your mouth.
Mark, I have rode with Gunny. I have rode with him. We were in a vehicle for 13 hours going down to Tampa back in February. So yes, I have rode with him, and I drive fast too. So, David Gordon's got David Gordon says what? But I drive fast as well. But I was coming back from Henry County, and it was early in the morning. We took my daughter's pig, Sebastian, up to the friggin' veterinary office up there, and I had to take her to school. So I was trying to hurry up and get back. Well, I was flying. I was doing probably 75 and a 55. I was just rolling. Cop pulls me over. Cop pulls me over and he gives me a ticket. He goes, but you can go through the diversion program, which I never heard of before. But it's kind of like traffic school. But you still had to pay your court costs plus your program. But for 12 months, if you don't get a ticket in that 12 months, then they take it out of off of your record and everything. So kind of like traffic school, but a little different.
Yeah, but here in Kentucky, 0 to 9, no points go on your license, right? Unless you're a habitual offender. So it's not going to be any points on my driver's license. I'm just going to pay the fine and deal with it. I will tell you that I was pulled over on the side of the road, one, before his blue lights turned on, and I was pulling over before he even turned his drive lights on. So he was completely blacked out on the side of the road, tucked in behind a guardrail. And as we came up beside him, I knew it was a cop. I knew he was going to pull me over. So I just started pulling over right away. He goes, hey, this is Trooper so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, I know I was speeding. I wasn't paying attention. My fault. No big deal. So,
okay. So did the radar detector pick it up?
I don't run a detector. No. And I was on the AA highway. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's, it's whatever. It's what it is. I was speeding. I got caught. No big deal, But yeah, and I did find out some news last week also. A couple weeks ago, I got notified saying that I was how do they word it? I was in consideration for the Marquis Who's Who in America. And last week, I got a phone call and did a 1-hour interview. And I did find out that I will be included in this year's publication of Marquis Who's Who in America.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, that's awesome.
So they'll go
with everything that you've done since way back when. I mean, it's well deserved. So
yeah, man.
For you.
Yeah, and it's everything. They want to know what I did for a job now, what I did for a job prior to, and a lot of the nonprofit work that I've done, and I don't know how they found me. I don't know who nominated or whatever that entails, but the publication is 120 plus years old. it'll go into the Smithsonian, it'll go into the Library of Congress, it'll go into numerous other colleges. But yeah, they produce this every single year. And I don't know, for whatever reason, they decided to pick, me. So it's awesome. It's cool.
Hey,
of
well
everything
deserved.
that I've done. And, the walls in this room tell a story, but that what's in the pages of that book's going to tell them.
Heck yeah, man. Well deserved. Big shout out to Miss Betsy Ross over on TikTok. That's her book series right there, the Fight series. If you haven't read the Fight series, I highly recommend going to Amazon and grabbing you a copy. Make sure you leave a review, an honest review, because for authors, that's how they get noticed, is by all the reviews and stuff left on there. So make sure you go to Amazon, or you can go to fightwithbetsyross.com and get her book, The Fight series. She's an amazing.
Or if you travel a lot like me and you like audiobooks, get it on audio. I did each book back to back to back to back. Amazing series. I needed to write something else too, so I can read that or listen to that.
Well, I think she's working on another book. She'll tell me here in a second, but she's working on another book, I believe. I don't know if it's going to be a genre that you want to listen to, though. So just give you a heads up. I don't know if it's something that maybe Miss Lauren, the author that we got coming on here in just a minute, maybe she might want to listen to it. But I don't know if you, me, or Kevin would want to listen to her book.
I mean, I don't do any of the romantic stuff or the lovey-dovey stuff. So if it's anything along that lines, I'll pass for now.
Now, April might listen to it, maybe. So you might have to get it from Miss April so she can listen to it. Oh, actually, she says she has multiple books started. So actually, we need to get Betsy and Miss Lauren connected so they can spitball ideals off of each other. I think that would be awesome. So anyway, are we ready to bring Miss Lauren and Mr. Kevin up to the stage?
Well, I'm sure they're ready. They don't want to hear us run our suck for another 10, 15 minutes. I think she's got something excited she wants to talk about. We learned about this after the show the last time they were on, and we're like, why did you not tell us about this? Why did you not talk about this? And of course they were talking about some of the other things that they were getting ready to do. And so excited. I know it's supposed to drop this week, so excited to have her on prior to the drop, right? So she can talk about what it is and how it started and everything. So I'm excited for this episode for sure. And anytime I get to see Kevin and Lauren, I get excited. I'm glad I get to be here this week, and I'm glad it wasn't next week when I'm not
here. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Let's bring them up. And I think you might be lagging just a little bit, Gunny.
Probably.
Welcome back, Mr. Kevin and Miss Lauren. Welcome back.
Happy to be here. This is our third time on your podcast, I believe. And it's always lovely to hear you guys, to get caught up with not just what's happening generally in your lives, but you guys have such wonderful, candid anecdotes at the start of every single episode. And Deeds, your need for speed is a perfect introduction segue into this book. Oh my goodness. Just in case anybody doesn't know yet, A Wingman for Miss Universe. Explore the home front of the Vietnam War through the eyes of Miss Universe. Is coming out on Amazon this Tuesday. So just a little bit about Dennis Peake, the true main character of this book. He immediately after high school got a job internship hybrid thing at the General Motors Institute out of Michigan. And there, so it was pretty much a half and half. You work half of it and you go to class for the other half of your day. And over the course of 4 years, you've built a car and you're an employee. Well, his specialty was Corvettes. And even before he became a fighter pilot, everybody, even in his hometown, there was a Facebook anecdote on a news article that came out recently that somebody had this memory of him. Even before he became a fighter pilot, he drove that Corvette just like a jet plane. And
So many anecdotes of that.
So it was perfect to hear about. I'm sorry that you got a speeding ticket. It's never a fun interaction. What happens afterwards is always a headache and a pain in the butt. But
Sam was
Amber was like, it's bound to happen. So I was like,
Sam was at an air wing later in his career, so he knows the fighter pilot type for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we want to say thank you again for coming back, and I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't really talk about this book on the last episode, because it kind of deserves its own spotlight, because I guess Gunny said be right back with everything else that you guys have done with the Van of Valor and what it's doing, and now you got this book coming out on the 21st of April. So you can go to Amazon and pre-order it right now. If you're listening to this now or whatever, you can go to Amazon and pre-order it as well. Now, will they be able to order it other places other than Amazon?
Amazon is the primary location, but it is made available all over the world. The India link is already up, as well as the Japan and UK link. It will be arriving tomorrow. But Amazon is the primary order location for it at the time.
Nice. What I like about it is, that era, the Vietnam era back then, it's one of those, how do I put this? I don't want, it was a frowned upon era in American history. A lot of Americans back did not like the Vietnam era, and this kind of highlights, one Marine's journey during that time frame and how he found love during that. Now, did they wind up getting married? I don't really remember the whole story. Did they wind up getting married?
It's not a romance in the traditional sense. It's not a kissing book in the traditional sense. It was really inspired based from the interview that we conducted with Dennis's youngest brother, Ron Peake, and his wife, Luann. It was an understanding of the hole that Dennis left in the heart of his little brother, and then the anecdotes of the holes that he made in the hearts of everybody in his town. He was such an impactful person that even after he went down in a fiery blaze sorry to spoil that part, but he didn't make it home from the Vietnam War. He did 47 successful missions, and on the 48th, his aircraft was shot down.
Yeah.
And so it's an exploration of the hole that he left in the hearts of others. He was such an impactful person that so many funds were raised for his funeral that it covered more than just the cost of his funeral. They actually built a steeple on top of his family's church because they didn't know what else to do with it. So his spirit was so big, they had to increase the size of the church. So following that, when we did the interview, there was this photograph in his shadow box in the middle of the Stand and Proud Veterans Museum and Tribute in Bartelso, Illinois. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. If you're ever passing through rural Illinois, you have to stop there.
You have to stop there. Even if you're not traveling through that area, it's worth a detour.
It's worth it.
Cool.
It's a really small town with such a big impact.
Yeah.
And to segue a little bit, Stand and Proud is actually a truck that can hydraulically stand up so that it can, it was a hybrid show truck, 4-wheel drive, extra performance kind of show thing that has the names of everyone who passed away from the global war of terrorism written along the sides.
I feel like about half of it, they ran out of room way through, but
and it continues up on the wall right next to it. And so they built a Veterans Tribute Museum around this truck. And it is wonderful. It's heartbreaking. It's a Zen garden, as well as this complexity of history and just how long this small town in Illinois has actually been serving. They've got tributes going back to World War I in there. And it's just, wow. But when you walk past the truck, there is a giant shadow box on the back wall, and that's where this photograph lied. And that's where we did the interview with the Peake family. It started out as just okay, we see his silver Corvette. We know he's a speed demon who a fighter pilot was just naturally how he was going to end up.
Mhm.
And then this random picture of him with this girl that looks like a princess. Like, you could have taken it out of the inspiration for Disney's Cinderella. Here's this woman in a ball gown with this big exaggerated crown that's like 3 heads tall, and this Marine fighter pilot in a white uniform.
That you barely ever see. They don't even exist anymore, as you know. But
What had my head scratching was,
think
why is that in white?
yeah,
And so that stuck with me
that's
beyond.
pretty Navy. Yeah,
It's
it
like that
hasn't
makes sense for the
happened in
Navy, but
a
he was in the
long time.
Marines. Well, in summer of 1967, the Miss Universe pageant was held in Miami. And come to find out, according to the uniform code for officers in the Marines for ceremonious hot weather duties, there was a special white uniform. And so I guess for television and photographs and all that jazz from the 1967 Miss Universe pageant, this photograph existed of him holding her hand as she just placed with the crown, and she's looking off at the photographers and he's looking at her. And I just thought, why is he in white? And that just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So then
I think Marines, sorry, I was going to say, I think Marines can still, there are certain ceremonies where they can wear the dress blue top with white pants. I can't remember, but I think that is a uniform that's still allowed today. It's not the full white uniform like the Navy wears.
This is white on white with the
This
shoes,
was
the gloves.
faded out by the 1980s, and according to my research, completely gone by the year 2000, this style of uniform. So the photograph exists as a relic in time.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. Well, I guess Gunny, he's having some computer issues. He'll be right back. But so the book comes out. So you see the picture, right? And you know, you're doing the stuff for the Van of Valor, for the book for the Van of Valor, and documenting all of the history there. What made you decide to transition and write a book about this?
Really, it was the lingering of Dennis Peake's ghost. It was one of those stories that stuck around long after the interview was processed. It was put in archival form. We had the video, the transcript, everything. And
I saw it.
I just was trying to continue on. But for some reason, this anecdote about, well, he wasn't even assigned to Miss USA initially. Dennis it was his last stateside assignment before shipping off to Vietnam. And he was originally assigned to Miss Spain, but she couldn't speak a lick of English. He couldn't speak a lick of Spanish. So he was rapidly reassigned to Miss USA, and then she won. And then, in the words of Ron Peake, relaying the way Dennis had told it to him, he got to hold the $1 million crown, you know? And his voice just faded off like it was one of those
that's awesome.
weird anecdotes that an older brother would tell his little brother. And that just kind of stuck around to the point that I had to think, well, if this is the hole that he left in his brothers and in his town, what about this woman who Miss USA, who won Miss Universe? And that's just how it began. A photograph and a story that stuck on my computer desktop longer than it should have, that became an aspect of research turned writing.
Well, it's one of those things. It's kind of like it was there on your desktop screen for a reason. Like like I always say that, God puts people in your lives at a certain time when you need them the most. And it was kind of like this story stuck around, and it was there, and it was like, hey, this needs to be told. This needs to be told. And subconsciously you're like, huh. And then it kicked in. And, all right, let's write the story. Because it's one of those stories that you don't hear about very often, because everybody looks for the high profile veteran story, Navy SEALs or your special operation guys. They don't really look at stories kind of behind the scenes, kind of like, stories that came out of Pearl Harbor, like love stories that came from there, and then sorry, I was just reading comments. Like the stories that came from there, but not really told. Like they were told by word of mouth and it passed down generation to generation, but not really told to the public. And this is kind of one of those stories. He left, an impact on all the lives around him, and I think that's why this story needed to be told. And I'm glad you were able to do that, to create this story and let his memory live on with this book. Go ahead, Given.
Can I interject? Yeah. So I watched Lauren go through all of the different, emotions associated with this particular interview. And I hadn't really realized this until after she had written the book. And this was probably maybe 2 weeks ago, where I came to this realization that watching all the Facebook comments on the Breeze Journal and some Bartels of some Illinois based Clinton County media, all the anecdotes were the same, that this man was just would pedal the metal. He had a need for speed, and it hit me like, had he not found his way in the Marine Corps, he would have probably been a drag racer or something, and he was destined to go out in a ball of fire. But here's the thing. In the Marine Corps, he got to finish 47 successful missions before he died, many of which were taking out radar sites that were taking out. So a lot of what the Marine fighters were doing in I Corps in different places at that time, where the Chinese were reinforcing, as we learned through a lot of research, these radar sites that were taking down our bigger aircraft that were reconning things. So there was like a Marine fighter that he flew, and then the Air Force had an F-4, were the only two fast enough to take out these radar sites before they got shot down. And he did that 47 successful times until on his 48th. And what serendipitous, and I guess, I don't know, serendipitous probably isn't the right word, but what I said about destiny is how he's meant to always die in a ball of fire, is that he was hit with anti-aircraft and he was not able to eject, which tells me he was either killed or knocked unconscious right away, or his ejection seat failed. But either way, the forward observer, the Marine FO out there, watched him go down without an ejection. So it is certain that he was never captured or anything like that. You don't survive that, right? So he lived and died the way you believe. And I didn't come to any of this because this was Lauren's story. It's just knowing so much about it and watching her go through it. And then I was thinking about who drives, like, people were saying he would get to rural Illinois, to like St. Louis or to like Chicago in these amount of times. And we looked up the max speed of a 66 Stingray, which was 155. And I bet he was doing that down those rural roads. So either he was going to die in a fiery ball in Vietnam and be a hero, or probably on the highway out there somewhere. And so it's like for me, it was very profound. And I don't know, this is Lauren's story, but it hit me hard the other day. And I just want to share that. It's like how
I mean, it's I think a lot of us that wind up in the military, we like to live fast. Because I know me, when I was growing up, I did some stupid stuff, and I still drive fast now. My wife will tell you that she hates riding with me, literally, like, hates riding with me, because I weave in and out of traffic, and she's holding on to the oh shit handle and holding on for dear life. And it's, I don't know. I just think, his story, driving Corvettes, working for Chevrolet back then, and then becoming a fighter pilot, and then doing the things that he did do, and then to die doing what he loved doing for his country. I mean, that's an amazing story. I mean, he paid the ultimate sacrifice, and it sucks that he paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Gunny, you all right down there?
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to switch over to the laptop. There's a bunch. I don't know why I'm lagging here on the home computer. So trying to get everything situated here over onto the laptop, and yeah, just having a rough go at it. I'm listening to everything. I'm hearing everything, but I don't know why. I'm just lagging.
Here's something I could throw out while Gunny's sorting that I think is also incredibly important to that narrative is that someone to rise to Miss America or Miss Universe in 67 with all of that political anxiety going on in a multitude of realms in America, but to at a time when American citizens were beginning not to turn against the ideology of the war that was being fought, but against the people fighting it directly. And for him to give his aviator wings and tell her to remember him, because they were going into two different worlds. He was going to Vietnam where he died. She was going to her famous, Miss Universe life where she could influence people. And to remember those in harm's way at a time when our country was so divided, more than we can even imagine, even compared to now, in times we've lived through. I don't know. 67 to me is the pinnacle of a really, really rough time in America. 66 even more so, but 67 is right at the end of that sort of crashing wave. And I think had they not had that moment and she gone on with her life, because she didn't die in Vietnam, she went on and did things that famous people do, but she carried his spirit and his voice and his desire for her to remember his face and the Marines and all of the service members like him over in Vietnam. Maybe I would like to think helped in some way or another it not to get even worse than it did. And it got pretty freaking bad. Let's all be honest. Yeah. We all know people who have come back and
yeah.
There's a portion
So I met. Go ahead, Kevin. Miss Lauren, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and there is a portion in the book where she navigates being on college campuses with the protesters. And she feels as though with the crown of Miss Universe, she can't be on the side of the protesters because she knows the face of the Marine that is contributing to the statistics. She has an actual face, a name, a person to be able to tie with it. So to participate in protest or condone them would be blasphemy to his memory. And so she just carries that on with her. And there's a whole section in there about navigating those fields on the home front of the Vietnam War as well.
I wonder what her views were like.
Well, I did my research, and she did not participate actively in the protest. If she had, the story would have turned out very differently. So it was
prior to meeting him. Prior to meeting him, what her views were like, and then having that interaction with him.
Who knows?
But someone from Alabama. The interesting thing is Lauren had zero success in reaching anyone in her family. However, his family desperately wanted his story to be told and retold and reach. There's a steeple, like Lauren said, in their beautiful little town, but that's not the same thing as a story that gets retold and retold and retold and retold, and his name's remembered. Right. We're not going to ever suggest he's Chesty Puller, but we need to have a larger vocabulary than a few dozen names in our pocket, all of us. So yeah.
So funny story is I know Miss USA 2000, Heather French Henry, right? And her dad is Ron. He's a Marine, Vietnam Air Marine. Yeah. And they do up at the state fair, they have this big military wing or exhibit inside the wing there, right? And his Marine Corps uniform has bullet holes in the uniform, but he was never struck by any bullets at all. And it's kind of hear his stories from Vietnam, and then plus her story, and then you were talking about like how being Miss Universe, not being able to be on the side of the protesters, right? I think if you wear that crown, granted, most Miss USA's, Miss Universe, oh, I'm for world peace, and that's what they say, right? But what their beliefs are, depending on what part of the country they're from, being from Alabama, more than likely she's pro US, pro military, and probably didn't want to partake in the protest. Because I know with like Heather French Henry, um, she's very pro military, pro USA, and I can only fathom if you're in the pageant world, trying to be Miss Universe, trying to be Miss Kentucky, Miss wherever, or Miss USA, that you more than likely you wouldn't have negative thoughts about the United States or the military or what's going on in the country. Now, granted, I'm not saying everybody loves Trump. I'm not saying everybody loves the governors and the senators and the congressmen, because we all know that there's good ones and there's bad ones. But I think this is a great story.
Yeah. 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 And I 100% agree politically, whatever side of the aisle you're on, because I know, I don't know, I know where I vote, but I also know that I can disagree with, anyone in this country because I know their brethren and their cousins. And I also know that there's people somewhere on this planet that want us both dead equally because of the flag we live under. And you can enter any race, either gender, anything you want in that situation. I know full certain there's people on this planet that want anyone that is born in this country or is a citizen of this country dead. So I think our political differences end at when the real enemy approaches. Yep.
I would agree with you 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Gunny, how's your computer doing on? You still lagging on your end?
I am. It's crap.
It could be StreamYard. Every now and then StreamYard has hiccups every now and then. But who knows? We'll see. It could be. We're still having a good time. All right, so April 21st, the book is going to be released. What? What's up, Chris Elder? How are you, sir? Chris, you need to have Kevin and Lauren on your show on Middle Vets, Mr. Elder. He's in chat right now. He's out there in Washington State, retired Navy guy.
Okay. Awesome.
So he runs Mill to Vet. He's got a really good podcast up there.
Well, Christopher, I'm gonna
connected via.
I'm gonna dip a pinky toe in your big pool and say that we were just talking to a Coast Guard vet today, actually talking about him. We interviewed him a while back, but one of the only Coast Guard Purple Heart recipients the only one I've ever encountered. But anyway, so I know it's not Navy, but I just thought, I thought you would get a little laugh out of that. And out there in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. So we were literally just talking to some media about him today. You're running for something?
Heck yeah.
Cool.
He's running for state rep, LD 44. I don't know what LD 44 means, but that's awesome that he's running for state rep.
All right.
Yeah, Chris, I'll connect you guys via email. Welcome back, Gunny. It's a whole different view now. Holy cow, whole different view.
Oh. Gunny, you're not in black and white.
We can't hear you though. Try to talk, Gunny, because we can't hear you. How do you pronounce that? Snohomish?
So no Amish?
That's a
interesting. So no Okay. Maybe.
Maybe. We don't know. He'll have to. Yeah. Gunny, you're having some technical difficulties, bro. Yeah, we can't hear you at all, bro. Cat has his tongue.
You don't want me to repeat what I said.
Cat does have Gunny's tongue. I guess he can Snohomish. There you go. Snohomish. Homish. Snohomish. Okay. It's not how it's spelled.
Well, best of luck doing your whole campaign.
What's that, Miss Lauren?
Oh, good luck to Mr. Elder with his whole campaign.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If we're still live, if there's still time for me to talk about something, could I talk about something about the Standing Proud? Yeah.
Go for it. We're still live.
So what
we're
Lauren was saying earlier about this truck having the names of all the OEF, OIF veterans up to about halfway through, it's like it's in an own strange way. I don't want to take or borrow anything from the Vietnam veterans experience when they go to the wall or local walls in their areas, but profoundly the DC wall. But in my own way, I began to look around that truck and look for, Gunny Dolphin, and there's dozens and dozens of people I know who didn't make it home. But we're on the Ring podcast, so I'll bring that one up, and several other people, and I began to look around, looking for those names, wondering because they're not nicely typed out either. They're in cursive that someone wrote with a Sharpie at one point. So I found myself spending a lot of time between other interviews that we were doing, looking around, thinking like another person would come to me, oh yeah, so-and-so, and I'd go over and I'd look and see if I could find it. And every time I found it, for me, it was, I don't know, an extremely profound yet slightly cathartic thing that this museum, without any federal funding or anything, just some good people in a rural part somewhere about 2 hours away from Chicago, decided to take the time to honor the people like you two, me, and so many people we've known. But this is the people who never made it back. But we all know people like that, and it just felt right. It felt really right. So I just wanted to, while we're sorting out the sound and all that, plug them one more time, because it is the stand-up truck. It's everything cool that you would have at a truck show. But for me, it was my generation's half-finished Vietnam wall. Yeah.
Good way to put it.
So we have the Vietnam traveling wall with the Cost Our Freedom tribute come into. So last year or the year before, we had it in Shepherdsville. This year, it's coming September 20th or September 17th through the 20th here in Mount Washington, in my town. And it's an 80% replica of the Vietnam Wall, but it has all the names on there. And then it has the Cost of Freedom tribute. So everything since Vietnam, there's A-frames, and it has names of all the fallen on there as well. Well, when it was here in Shepherdsville, me and Gunny came down, and we were sitting there, and we went out there and looked, and we were looking for the names of people that we knew that didn't come back. And then there was some on there that I knew, and I was like, oh man, I didn't know they didn't come back. Because I had lost, because when I left 2-8, I went to 1-8, and still chatted with those, those Marines. Still had a little bit of contact with the guys from 2-8, but not as much. And then I got out. When I got out, and then I went back in, there was some others as well, and I was like, oh my, that's crazy that to think. and I always wonder what happened to this person or this person. And sometimes I don't remember the names. And then Gunny's like, yeah, we served with them in 2-8, or we served, you know, it was just one of those things. And I was like, man, but I love seeing their names not forgotten, because that's when we forget our. Go ahead.
I just said that
when we forget their names, that's when, yeah. When we forget their names, that's when goes to hell in a handbasket. We got to remember. We got to remember their names, and we got to keep saying their name to keep memory alive.
Yeah.
What was that, Gunny? That was some eyeballs there.
This damn thing's not working.
There he is.
Nope. We got you now. All right. So Chris Letter says, I'm working to bring a memorial to our state capitol in Olympia.
Hey, Willis. Right above Chris's, there's an Angie. That comment right there, that is the person who put together every single interview we did at Standing Proud. She is the work, the soul, the everything behind that effort. No way we could have done it without her. And she is also the amazing wife of Bob Zahn, someone that Sam and I have talked about, I think, in both podcasts when we were on here. We've at least mentioned him in both, I believe. I don't know. I don't remember everything, but I definitely remember we talked about him in the last one. So thank you for highlighting her. Yes, she is an amazing, amazing, not just wife of a Purple Heart recipient from the Vietnam War and a Huey pilot who was part of a incredible, well, we can talk at nauseam about their mission. More is coming, but I don't know how much time you have, but I just wanted to make sure she didn't go unnoticed, because she is so much effort behind the veteran community, and so many, Sam knows, so much effort on so many Purple Heart recipients. And
she's also the mother of an Army veteran as well.
She sure is. She sure is, Joel. Yep.
So yeah, Gunny and I, we've talked about Angie and Bob numerous times over the course of 2 years, Gunny. And then of course, every time you guys come on, you guys talk about them as well. I'd love to meet them in person. I haven't had that opportunity yet, but one of these days I will get to meet them in person.
Well, you got to get off your butt and come up to Warrior Weekend in August.
Yeah, we'll be there.
I know.
Okay. Well,
even if it's just for one day.
I'll have to leave I have to leave on Friday night and come up there. So after my normal work day. So
it sounds like a 10-year belated from Gunny right there. It's a little belated, a little bit late, but still in order.
Yeah, it's still in order. Show your ass up. Yeah. But no, I'm super excited. So let me ask you a question. So the book goes on sale the 21st of April. Have you got any pre-orders yet? Or do you know?
Yes. We have a bulk interest of pre-orders. We have quite a few of the so currently it's available for pre-order on the Kindle version. The regular hardback version becomes available on the 21st. And we've had a multitude of interest from David Hart wanting this to be one of the books that's passed out at Warrior Weekend this year, as well as a bunch of local interest here in Florida, and going back up to Southern Illinois. Standing Proud, Carl Hewells from the Standing Proud Museum is really interested in trying to make this a book that's integrated into the schools of Southern Illinois as well.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it should be. I agree. It should. Miss Angie says, thank you, David and Sam. We would love to have you broadcast from the Standing Proud Veterans Tribute. That would be awesome. Yeah, we might have to figure something out, Gunny. We'll have to figure something out to do that.
I mean, I've been out there. I had the honor of designing Bob's coin with the extreme help of Angie. She did all the research of everything that she wanted on the coin, and I was able to go out there and present it to him. And I've done a lot with Bob. I love Bob. He's a great man. And, we can learn a lot from him and the rest of our Vietnam veterans.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Expects lots more books.
Just hearing the stories. 5 more books.
Well, it's going to be a couple years in the making.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Yes, we have one group, one of this group, really good man who's unfortunately dying of some Agent Orange related cancer, actually very rare cancer. So by necessity, that will be the first book, but that's also the enlisted perspective, which the three of us can align with. And you'll hear very soon. I don't want to steal the show from her book, but there will be.
Oh no,
this has to be a series with a core of one deployment that explodes out into each crew. Let's just call it a crew member of a vital helicopter concept that was created by the first Cav in Vietnam and for some reason not used anymore. But it was the idea of bringing in a scout helicopter under the triple canopy of Vietnam to locate machine gun nests, heavily entrenched VC, heavily entrenched NV, whatever, and begin to draw fire. This is a Loach Bell helicopter with just a curved glass front and no weapons other than the M16 on the pilot's side and probably a 9mm or 45. So they're there to draw fire and they're going slow. When they draw fire, they try to get the hell out of there. Although one of the guys who books we're going to write, Colonel Larry Brown, was shot down 9 times doing this very technique. But anyway, and injured, like multiple. But so you come on out, and then the Red comes in, which is a Huey or later Cobras, and just decimate the enemy right where it came from with hellfires, anything you can from the air. And then other Hueys, the Slicks, come in and they insert the Blues, which are air rifle infantrymen. The guys that I guess would be most closely related to like an air assault person of the current age in the Army. But anyway, infantrymen specially trained to come off the helicopters and mop the mess and get all the intel. And very deadly concept, and it was very turn point vital to a big part of the successes in the Vietnam mission.
Wow.
So a whole group of these guys, Bob being one of them, are united by their time at Bravo Troop. I don't want to take too much time for this, of the 19 Cav. And there will be a series of books, one about each of the members, and all of them will be intertwined, but the perspective. So imagine when you're in the first guy, which I'm talking about, Barry McAlpine, Staff Sergeant. When you're there, you're from his eyes. He's on the helicopter. He's being inserted into, let's just call it hell. And he is talking to these other guys that are in it, but they're in this different role of support. And then in another book, you're literally in the scout pilot's eyes views coming through this insane thing. And then the Reds, guys like Zahn that we've talked about and stuff. So all of the parts brought into a series, because it's just too much to put in one book. Yeah.
Each one of these stories is so powerful that it really just needs to be encompassed in a box set so that the central through line can be read together or in parts, and it still be taken away by the reader.
I think we need 2 years to do it. 2 years. We don't have 2 years with Barry, but we need 2 years to do it all. I think. Barry McAlpine, we don't have 2 years with him.
Yeah. It's like we can't sit still. Once we have one book just about finished, we're already halfway through the brainstorming of another one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way to do it, though, because it's so fresh in your mind right now. If you wait 10 years down the road to do it, you'll be like, oh, man, I got to do all that research again. Yeah. No.
Well, and unfortunately, with a lot of our Vietnam veterans, there's not 10 years.
There's not. Yeah.
So true.
And as sad as it is, the fact is there's so many more heroes being built today in Iran, for example. And there's a whole nother generation of of infantry maybe getting ready to be there, but special operators definitely there. Yeah, we've seen how many pilots shot down. I don't even know. I'm losing count. And so many so the hero stories are being written in real time. So the challenge is paying attention to those and make sure they don't get miscommunicated, while at the same time getting all of the stories of before they're gone. And like you said, Vietnam, man, we're losing. The time is not on our favor.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Well, Mr. Kevin and Miss Lauren, I want to say thank you again for coming on and talking about A Wingman for Miss Universe, which goes live April 21st. So make sure you go to Amazon, go buy you a copy. Make sure you leave a review after reading it. Make sure you leave a review. That will help Miss Lauren and Mr. Kevin out big time. So I want to say thank you again for coming on and hanging out with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us on 3 times. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you.
It won't be the last time.
You too, Willis. You need to get up there, man. I heard Gunny tell you to get up there, so I don't know what the question is, honestly. I really don't know what we're talking about still.
All right, guys. Well, I want to say thank you again. Yeah, definitely not.
Anytime.
Well, thank you, guys. Heck yeah. All right, Gunny. It's always a pleasure to have the Wallaces on the show. I tell you, it's always you never know the stories that we're going to go with when those two are on. I like it. I love it. We need some more of it.
For sure. Yeah, I've known Kevin for a long time.
Thank you, Miss Angie.
And what they're doing now and telling the stories of the average soldier, if you will, right? So no soldier's an average soldier, but the stories that get told are the ones of the distinguished cross, or the Navy Cross, or the Medal of Honors, or things like that. And Kevin and Lauren are out there telling the stories of the guys that may not have received those but deserve those. And I'm looking forward to reading / listening to the books for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited. Just like this one. I think it's 59 pages. I've seen that somewhere. Yeah, described as a 59-page story. So quick little read, but it's something cool, and it's history, which I love my history. So, all right, Gunny, it is that time of night, my friend. Are you ready?
2 seconds,
because I'm not.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, here we go.
Gunny's words of wisdom.
Die with memories, not dreams.
Ooh. Say it again for the people in the back.
Die with memories, not dreams.
Die with memories, not dreams. That's so powerful, because people always, I think humans in general, they're afraid to take chances and to make those memories. And a lot of times it stays dreams. So that's so friggin' powerful.
Well, and there's, I want to do, my bucket list includes this. My bucket list includes this. I want to do this before I die. Well, how about you have a live list, and you do it while you're healthy, and you do it while you can, you do it while you have those opportunities. Because if you wait until you don't have those opportunities, it may not happen. So, have yourself a live list, and that way you die with your memories and not the dreams.
Yep, I would agree with you 100%. All right. I don't like these jokes. I'm looking at these jokes and I'm like, I don't like these ones. I'm going to have to find a different list of jokes.
Well, you got to hurry up because you're next. You're up.
I know. I am up. All right. Oh, see, all these jokes are lame. I'm trying to find one.
I need to put the Jeopardy music on here because you're taking forever. It's like Final Jeopardy.
I know, you need to. Final Jeopardy. Here, I'll go back to the original list of jokes. All right. I don't like these, but I'll go back to them. Dying this for weeks.
Whatever.
All right, here we go.
It's time for the joke of the day.
Maybe it's me who. It didn't even play the video.
You're lagging, bro. No.
What? I did.
Yeah, it did play the video. You're lagging.
I don't know. Yeah.
You are frozen.
I'm lagging bad. Yeah. All right. What happened to the soldier who tried to be a stand-up comedian? What the hell?
What happened to the soldier that tried to be a stand-up comedian? I don't know. Where? Now he's gone. What is going on today?
He bombed.
He bombed.
We need that sound.
Yeah, right.
We need that sound for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to restart my computer.
We'll just close out the show.
Right.
Just close out the show.
You want to run it?
No.
All right. We'll close out the show. Anyway, I said, bro, I'm lagging. Anyway,
like we always say on
have a
HomeFront
great
SitRep.
night. Like I always say on HomeFront,
Yeah.
stay out there.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.